in particular, feel free to comment about it. Okay. I want a past life card for you, and then I'm gonna tune into new things and things I've tuned into before, and things for you that you guys want me to know about. Okay. Is this true? Okay, interesting. Okay, the card that wanted you to see it was Unrequited Love. So we'll see what that means. You can guess in the comments as well while we're working on it. And how is that going to help you with this? Now, what I'm reading for Chris. Well, I'll show you some of the concepts of what's anchoring you down, and then I'll go into like more and more concepts. Let's see who wants to do. Yeah, you got the. How many people have this? I think everyone. It looks like there's like these 20 aspects of dissension that are pulling people down, and it's slowing people's ascension sometimes to where if there's enough of it, it's instead of like any given point in time, you can like read, am I ascending? Like you're going up back to yourself, a state of being you were previously before you were weighted down in this body. A lot of people have been higher dimensional beings and then step a little bit of their toe into it, or try to get more of their consciousness into the body, etc. And it's dealing with all these heavinesses that are pushing us down, because there's a lot with this earth. You can even go into the human DNA experiments, especially when big invasions happen with the earth. It also happened to our DNA that dropped us down and then affected a lot of higher dimensional beings and forced falling, which is one of the aspects of the layers of fallen angels. Some are like by choice, doing evil action, breeding with humans, not always the cause of descending, but some descending down to the earth physically, but they can leave, some can't. Some adding their genetics to us, and then there being an invasion, and then a bunch of devils and other evil shit adding or infiltrating the genetics, and then that pulling them down. So that's like one of the ways. There's a few more too. Besides like the description of some people call humans like fallen angels, which is kind of true, and it's more true, especially depending on what kind of spirit you are. Doesn't necessarily mean you're evil. In the requirement of being in 3D and this human body and in a rough and tumbled, violated, wounded reality that had to have a whole bunch of survivalist egos holding it up all together while we're healing those egoic big balls that are passed down through our genetics and soul until everything feels safer, and then the higher self can flourish and come out as the lower self resolves itself. So, okay, so I'll name one of the bigger ones. Yeah, okay, I'll do it one more time. So one of the things holding you down is, should I do that one first, or is it something else? Okay, so there's an ascension body. It's centered in the heart, and there are over 100 layers of it that needs to be cleared out of all attachment and things anchored into it to limit its productivity. So a lot of people are dealing with that. So I recommend holding your heart, going inward. You can pulled down your palm chakra while like the whole time while you were hugging yourself, or from the front and back of your heart, going inward. You're like letting go of these layers of attachment, false self, and going to your true, already existing, infinite. Again, there's in the text, like with Padmas and blah blah blah, it's like really hard to find this concept that's beyond being, which is like kind of like with everyone, everything infinite. But you'd be on the pathway of letting go of everything that's the opposite of that. That's already held. Because if you're not already that, then you probably have the other stuff. You gotta let go of it and purify it. Actually. Then there's the dissension body, which is it's centered in the root chakra, and it's like a pulling down force. You can see this as like a hot air balloon. There's things inside you can erupt like a fire, especially the spirit and the soul, the heart and the solar plexus, that amplify the fire that allows you to, in levity, to go higher and higher. And there's also like it's like a helium kind of concept. And then there's the stuff that's holding you down, like the sandbags. And those you want to let go of, because it's either there's like I'd say like it's split into three fairly equally. Seems like a system to it, based on a tug of war between multiple beings that have, the goals of helping others or hindering others, and neutrality, where like around, give or take, 30% of people are descending, 30% of people are neutral, because they have both pull and push, pull down and ascending forces at once, and then some people that are ascending at varying degrees of strength, based on the pathway and what they're doing in lessons and other stuff. So yeah, we can read that. So I'll kind of like, don't want to trigger anyone, but I'll be kind of like brutally honest with people on what I read with them. I'd say Chrissy is ascending, but like it's slow. But it's still going. So I'm probably going to be assuming that the people that listen to me are likely mostly ascending. But I'll tell you if you're not. And what that means, both internally and the environment around you, has an effect on this. The earth as well as the sun, and this like cascade relays of light that goes from the source of all the like fractals of it down to the universe, galaxy, and the star clusters, and the sun, and then to earth. That's, people talk about like the solar flash and ascending, like, oh, it's in the event, it's going to happen. I think that can exist, and people have experienced that on other planets, but there's intelligence that goes along with the process. The sun's intelligent, Earth is intelligent. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, a lot of people are just going to die. They don't just want people to die. There's like a whole growth process, and there's a lot of different flashes of solar activity that the sun can emit that don't have to kill people. Some people, just fade out in certain ways from enough heaviness building up in their life that they haven't paid enough attention to, and they may not like put enough effort or not fully want to be here, so they keep going. So for everyone, so you all have dissension bodies, which is going to be a container in a filing system in your being that centers in the root chakra that will have different things anchoring you down. Now this includes certain aspects, but you can make this completely clear and not have anything pulling you down, but there's also different psionic tech being used against people on the planet and collective consciousness, that as you go through this, you'll have tech to overcome it. So, a few of them. So, one aspect will be in the dissension body, there will probably be entities attached to it. And you want to learn how to either banish them, clear them, purify them, capture them, send them to quarantine realms, depossess them, or something like that. If you don't know how to do that, you can reach out to me and I can help you with that, and I can teach you all these abilities. But that's one of the layers. Now, there will also be a cascading energy of corruption. Which you're going to have to gain access to anti-corruption and cure energy. And then quarantine around it and compress it out of your reality. Which I can do for people again if they need. I may do some stuff for Chrissy just for this stuff if she wants, but depending on what she wants me to focus on. Thank you, Kelly. I'll look your thing up. Did you send it to the PayPal on my screen, the sonically@gmail.com, or did you? I think you sent it to my other one, right? The sn_bond at yahoo.com. Is that? Because I'll look. Hey, Littles. Hey, Legendary Super Saiyan. Nice name. Okay. So then so this is what I found in me as an example. So a lot of this comes from the fall of Atlantis. This is like being imprinted and attached and implanted in people. All the fall of Atlantis, all different types of souls. I'm pretty much sure everyone on the planet, because it wants to stop everyone from ascending. It's one of the core things that's a threat to the dark side. This is why, the ascending process is really powerful. Sometimes they'll put an imprisoned dark being inside the person that's maybe force implanted or have been fucking with them and they had to imprison it in themselves because nothing else can hold it, and then figure out what to do with it. I'm not reading that aspect is so much with this type, but I've seen that with a lot of people from the fall of Atlantis especially. Okay, yeah. So thank you. Okay, yeah, I'll do a reading for you, Kelly. Don't worry, please. Then, yeah, sometimes there's also, there's an imprisoned being in people, sometimes there's sealed beings in people. So if you got these things, I can get rid of those for you guys. I can resolve the sealing so it goes to a quarantine realm and it's on your body. And sometimes there's some type of hybridized evil dissension matrices that are in it, as well as implanted beings themselves. For Chrissy, do you want me to get rid of these for you? Because I can. Unless you want me to move on to something else and you try to eventually learn all those abilities to resolve those things. Let me know in the comments. Then I'll read a little something on your path and stuff, and then I'll finish with a card. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Unity, truth, unity, truth, and empowerment seem to be coming up for you, Chrissy, as like big pathways. So a lot into that. spectrum will all like work towards points of elevation. Okay, yeah, I can resolve that for you. Ze Kotosad Tosomate Everheki. Let's see, how many do you have? All of them. How many people have all these? Because I usually don't see sealed beings in everyone. I guess everyone. Damn. Fuck. Okay, well, this is like another way that can make you stronger, and you can gain the ability to overcome and release these blocks. But yeah, eventually I'll have to figure out like core solutions so that this resolves for the whole collective, so less of these kind of exist in reality. And if I can get rid of all of them, that'd be great. Or anyone out there can try to do this too, but you know, it takes bravery, right? Thank you for your service. Also, que neheji zeteretin behete Samokur evene sivete osubum vehazish en hegoto omokwa ezesh ingre sede hatahatasu imehatas desike atahatasonodoshike ados Inge Shiraya Singre. Okay, cool. Sending a bunch of the things that were planted in you to a place that can hold them and then resolve them over time. Now, is there anything? 1, 2, 3. You do? Okay, what would that be? Plus. Okay, so you'd be turning corruption energy into the some energy that's like the word that's the opposite of corruption. What is that? It's like spreading goodness kind of thing. It seems you earned that energy is what it's going to be turned into, and then the beings are going to pay off their debt by amplifying your ascension. So that's some cool things that you gain from like turning the curses into blessings, you know. Yeah, and again, people can donate to my PayPal site, which, you know, if they want to get in line for a reading. Oh yeah, so I can also read that too. So for Chrissy, you've sent it a bunch of times. So don't let anything limit you that I say. It's what I'm allowed to see. So what I'm allowed to see is you've ascended one time on this planet, and then a bunch of times in other places. Time period. And let's also translate into meaning what that means too, because it's coming up what that comes up as, because there's probably a bunch of different ways that happens and pathways and stuff. And I like looking into this stuff. How's that look? Okay. Okay, and that would be there's after like a Lemurian fall, like the asteroid hitting period kind of thing. It looks like in the process of resolving things and healing and doing Yeah, it's like helping others is the pathway you did it. It's like healing and supporting stuff, and it's like doing a lot of mission. And I'm trying to check all formats. And this is in, it's like a light density. Like high light density increase. Manifest your body elsewhere, and ooh, okay, is that how mythos? Not so much. Okay, because it's having to do with Lemuria. Yeah. So you're, what's it? One, two, you're rising up dimensionally, density-wise. Yep, looks like that covers it. And it's based on accumulated light and letting go of weights that hold you down. So it seems to like go into a raising of frequency automatically in a high level that goes along with it. And it seems to be overwhelmed with the time of like when you're done being here and you don't return here in that form to the place that's somewhat heavenly-ish, but not like a heaven. It's heavenly-ish, and it has a lot of things, but it's a dimension. Okay. Yeah, from the one that represents for Earth here. Interesting. And other planets, very similar things you did. One, yeah. Truth is more of a thing in Ascension with a place that's in remembering. Like if you have amnesia, unless you've never known it before, which still is like a big thing. It's mostly with helping the place you're at, and setting up everything in the body you're in to be strong and safe and protected enough to build what you need is the similarities going along with your ascension on other places. Let's see, one, two. Ooh. That's 26 times on 3 other planets. Especially one planet, you seem to do it over and over again. So what's the reason for that? Interesting. It seems to be where the planet needed a lot of help, similar to this one. So you did it a bunch of times there. It's like setting up a big avatar version of yourself that helps the planet, and it holds up a big weight for the planet, and then mines for growth and making everything better. A little bit of a different pathway each time. Let me just make sure I'm in. Yeah. So you're exploring ascension in a greater way of like all the ways you can kind of do it a little different. So much to uncover, right, with this topic. Oof. And well, we can definitely, of course, go more into that. Kindness and helping others is your big pathway. And on this planet is that plus truth plus empowerment. Okay, so we'll go further into that more in detail with other people as well. I'm going to look into your unrequited love. What does that mean? Anything else? Something to do with like really powerful. I guess this should be a new term, but I feel like it exists. But I guess it could apply to twin flame, but I don't really super enjoy that there's a whole bunch of different definitions people have for twin flame, and I don't exactly agree with them all. Though they're concepts of it, yeah. Now seeing if that applies. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like one of your top oldest, like, born in soul around the same time as you, kind of match soul branch of multiple incarnations of itself, that you would do well in amplifying each other's ascension. There's a lot of blocks on you meeting each other, and keeping you away from each other to a high level. It's like trying to stop you from being able to telepathically communicate, see if it's all of that. And even keeping your higher self and source from interacting with them. Now let me look at this here. You might not even know where they are. They seem to be super camouflaged, but you know, powerful beings usually are. But like you have methods of getting around that to meet up, but they're not working. So that's interesting. So yeah, and I can. So I recommend keeping that, pinning that, and if you want to go further into this, I might do like a love reuniting kind of show. People might be interested in that. You can leave in the comments if you're interested in that kind of concept. That is like a big, like, heartbreaking thing for people. There's like a missing feeling in themselves for that kind of thing to reunite with loved ones, which is beautiful. I definitely want to help with that. That is it. Ick. dark system, keeping people away from each other. So I don't want to be existing. Okay, so it's telling you to do that. So I'm going to look at who else donated, but you can bring that up later to me if you want to go further into that kind of concept. But yeah, feeling the good vibes from this already, and the good effect of this show. Glad it can help people in some way. So